What's up everyone, it's Anthony with A Crew Gaming in the awesome game of Satisfactory. I'm going to just do a quick how-to on these factory floors. I know it's pretty simple, pretty fast. I don't know why you wouldn't build a huge factory floor, because they've done a phenomenal job in this game at making it possible to build really fast. And you know what? I think we're gonna go get that slug too. I think I've got a plan here. So I'm not getting hurt here. So I'm high enough up. Let's try this. How far out can I go before I get hurt? Still not getting hurt. Am I above it? So let's try this. Put that down. We got my berries in my hand. Oh, hurry, 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 hurry. Oh, get my quick jump. Nice. So, there you have it. If you want to go get a slug, just keep berries in your hand and run through the green stuff and eat as you go. Works fantastic. I'm glad I had inventory space. I didn't even check that. I think that's a yellow slug too. Awesome. I also made some safety improvements, so OSHA would be happy with me. I added some handrails in here. The stairs are kind of sucky, to be honest with you. When you think about these ramps, because these ramps, you can just sprint up them. You can sprint all over the place, and I know I'm probably like making you seasick, but like the stairs, you have to go like all gingerly and slow and turn and turn. These things, use these, don't use the stairs, these ramps, because you can't run off the edge, so you can just run into the rails and fly up stuff. But I added a whole bunch, so you can see I added ramps down here, and then up on both sides. I couldn't add them this way. I wanted to add them like 4 ways, but it runs into, it encroaches on the space elevator, so I didn't quite get my platform centered. Causes an issue, but don't use the stairs anymore. Hopefully they'll fix the stairs. All I have to do is add a handrail to them, and it'll make them way better. But these ramps are far superior when it comes to going up stuff. And I also added another one over here, and it frees up a ton of space. I mean, look, I can run straight through here now. Where before I had those big tilted platforms, but it is, I guess it doesn't really matter. Like if you're going up 3 levels, place your ramps, and wherever they land, put a transition point on your conveyor belts, and that's where you should have the same angle that way from your ramps. So I was gonna say build them with the ramps, that way you have the same pitch on your ramp as you do your belts, but it doesn't really matter because you just have to build them from the same point and you should be good to go. But this one I kind of added one of these little roundabout deals too, just so it took up less space. But if you remember, this took up a lot of room on the last build, so, and you can always jump off of them too if you want. So ramps, not stairs. They need to fix the stairs, because they are difficult to use, difficult to stay on. But let's go build this factory floor. We'll make this a quick video if we can. Yeah, it's kind of hard to walk around up here. I got too much stuff stuck. I need to build some more walkways. Let's jump over here. But like I said, huge. I mean, I've got an enormous factory, and to build the actual factory portion of it, I still got quite a bit of concrete. The floor and everything doesn't take hardly any time, so there's no, like I said, there's no reason not to lay these platforms. It makes the game so much faster and so much easier. It makes setting all your equipment so much faster and so much easier, even to the point of I'm putting the platforms under the miners. So you just have to be careful. I don't think you can use the double platforms under the miners because it has to be able to reach. So but you can come in here. What I've been doing and what I've started, how I did this was I started with the perimeter, and I wanted all these the same. This one has to be a little bit shorter because it runs into a mountain. But I started with the perimeter and just built it out, and then, you know, built it from both sides, and then filling it in is just like cake. And you can use the bigger ones if you want. It just takes away some of the space you have for the ceiling. Why isn't that? That was being kind of goofy. Takes away some of your height availability in the bottom, but these do. My son actually said that the other day. He was using the big ones. I'm like, why are you using the big ones? They take more stuff. He's like, no, they don't. They take the same amount, and they do. Each one of them only takes 6. So the foundations, doesn't matter what size you use, they take up 6 concrete. So if you like the looks of the bigger ones, use the bigger ones. But you can see how fast this is. Like, it really doesn't make sense not to build these things out. There's no reason not to. And if you get them in the wrong spot, it's not a huge deal, but you can just like rattle through these foundation floors. Super, super fast. So, like I said, it makes sense to build these because it makes placement of everything and lining up everything 100 times easier. And of course it's like not as fast as I was doing it a second ago. That's how it always works when you're in a game. Like I did that one, like it was just like bam, 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 bam. I had like 4 or 5 that I missed, but for the most part it was like rapid fire. But like I said, they have done a phenomenal job getting it to where the building in this one goes smoothly. And I haven't played very many actual factory games like this before. I know that there's been a couple of the other ones out, so I don't know. I don't really have anything to compare it to other than Lumber Tycoon in Roblox, and obviously you're limited by the Roblox platform and everything in there with that, so not really an equal comparison, I don't believe, to what they've created here. So not really a fair comparison. It's cool that the dude just like stands here and hucks concrete. I guess it's not a dude, it's a dudette. I keep forgetting that you're... There's a lot of people that were complaining that you can't choose between a male and a female in this as your character, but you literally can never see... I guess if you're in multiplayer you can. Oh no, out of concrete. But you literally can never see your character, so why would it even matter? So, people are crazy. And sometimes I think people just make a big deal out of something just to see their own voices typed out in people on threads and stuff like that. So that's part of it sometimes, as sad as that is. Let's go down here. My awesome new walkway and snag some concrete. So this does take a lot of concrete. The walls are going to take a lot of steel plates. So as long as you have the materials though, this is like one of the easiest things in any game that I've played. Building these floors and building these platforms, they've made it just awesome. And there are, like I said, there are some issues still building. Like, check this walkway out. If you want the walkway on the floor, which you don't really have to have it, I could put it out there and be fine, but I really didn't want to extend it any closer to the space elevator. So you can see you can put it on some of them, but it's kind of a pain to get it in all of these. You have to be just right, hold your mouse just right, don't move it, and click it in. So it's easier to actually delete the floor. You'll see here. Oh no, I just filled up my inventory. It's easier to delete the floor, it goes right in, as long as you don't have your mouse scroll bar free like mine. And it makes it easy to bump it. But anyway, like I said, take the floor out, makes it way easier to build these walkways, and then you can put the floor back in. Also, if you want to put conveyors on them, you have to put a floor underneath them, and then you can set a conveyor on them. I did run into a couple instances where these wouldn't set on some of the pieces, like these corner pieces, and it's going to set on all of them. But anyway, as long as you have a floor under there, you can put it in there, and then you can actually take the floor out from underneath it, and not have the floor in there, and you can have a conveyor on those walkways too. So it is possible to set stuff on them. I think the poles, the power poles, will set on them. It's just the conveyors, you kind of have to play with them a little bit and put a floor underneath them. But so far everything's been super simple. Like I said, the building, the lining things up, everything makes sense. The only, like I said, the only real flaw I found is with some of those platforms, or the handrails, getting those in there. And that's on top of an existing platform. There's no other issues with setting them on the side of a platform. I haven't run into any problems with that yet. And bam. And you can see, I think this is like a 26 by 12 or something like that. So, fairly substantial. My son, I was actually trying to jump into a multiplayer game with him. We're getting his factory all set up. He had like major spaghetti factory going on out in the middle of the field. No platforms, no nothing. Belts clipping through belts and all kinds of a mess. And he's just like, hey, I've got to redo all this. So he built a platform, and he was kind of looking at mine, and I think he built his like 25 by 35 or something, just insanely massive. And we were getting his all set up, and I'm like, hey, let's try this in multiplayer. And I think that our internet, we were both of our computers, my laptop and our desktop, are both on the wireless network. They're not on our they're not hardwired in, or they're not plugged into a line. So I think it was just too much for our Wi-Fi. We don't have the greatest Wi-Fi either. So we may try again, and I'll plug my computer actually directly into the internet, and leave that one on Wi-Fi, and we'll see if we can get it to work. But like I said, I'm just setting up his factory. There's a couple really cool, because he had so much space. I think he's going to have something like 20 constructors doing rods. So he's got just a ton of belts, Mark III belts running in there, and Mark II miners, and all kinds of really cool stuff. So, but we did, like I said, we got one set up that was pretty sweet. It's pretty cool. So I'll try to get in there. Even if I can't get in there multiplayer, I may just record from his account, and show you kind of the setup we had in there. But like I said, it doesn't make sense not to have this much space. And you will, I mean, I've got right now, I think I have, we just counted 8, 12, I think I have 16 constructors working on rods right now, and they are just barely now keeping up with the demand. And I think I've even got some stuff that is shutting down because I've been working on the factory and not working on advancing stuff. So I'm not making the things with the frames or anything like that yet, just because I've been trying to get the factory floor going. So wrong spot. So 20 constructors on rods is not a bad idea at all. You probably need 20 constructors doing screws as well, in all actuality. Oh, I don't want that there. And it sounds insane in the first part of the game, but once you start seeing how much of them you're using, how quickly you go through them, you start to realize that you kind of underbuilt. I even feel like mine is underbuilt. I know it is for screws and rods, but I kind of helped that out. You can't, like I said, you can upgrade things too and make it, overclock it and make it run faster. And it just kind of depends on what you want to do. If you want to go that route, I just messed that up too. So normally I've got a system here. I'm putting the center doors on the corners, just so I can get out the door. And then I've got to put, so 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You gotta have a way for the, oh, I just had those open. For the conveyors to get in here. And this is gonna be my oil floor, so I'm gonna have lots of stuff running in here, hopefully. Because I think my oil is that direction a long ways. So put those guys in there. That gives me the opportunity to bring 6 belts per floor, and this is, I mean, there's actually 12 belts per floor because my floors are kind of 4 high, 3.5 high once you put the upstairs floor in there. So 12 belts. I've only used 7. So my iron floor has 7. My steel floor is only going to have the 6 on the lower floor, but I'm going to have 6 more on the second floor. So I don't know, unless your factory is bigger than mine, you probably won't ever use that many floors, but or that many conveyor inputs, especially once you start getting some of the faster conveyors. You just don't have enough room to split that many conveyors once you get it in the factory. So like I said, we did have a really cool way to do it in my son's world, in my son's build, and it turned out really good. So I will show you that fairly soon here. But here's the walls. I'm just going to do this one section, but you can see how fast it builds. Like I said, I'm high enough up. My screen kind of changes colors when I get into the green fog or mist or whatever it is. But it doesn't hurt me this far up. So be careful when you're building. Make sure you just kind of avoid that area if you can. Makes sense not to have to deal with it. There is a gas mask later on. Totally put that in the wrong spot. But it goes through cartridges really, really fast. And right now you can only have one thing, one attachment on you at a time. So like right now I've got the blade runners. If you do a gas mask, you have to take the blade runners off. So you're now limited, your speed is limited, and how far you can jump. So it's not a huge deal, but hopefully they start adding to where you can have, because the gas mask is obviously not on your feet. And then when you get the jetpack is obviously not on your feet either. So hopefully they have different slots for different things available, and you don't have to just be limited to one thing. I am putting these opening ones in here. It provides a ton more light, and again, that's another thing that I think they're working on adding is lights. So, and I know I've said it in a couple of videos that it would be a nice thing to have. But for the time being, this works fairly well. It definitely adds more light during the day, and it kind of helps during the night too. So it also gives you the ability, if you have the blade runners, it gives you the ability to get out of the factory or get in the factory at any point. You're not limited by just the doorways. So sometimes if you need something in the middle, it's kind of a drag to have to run all the way to the end of the factory. I could put more doors in, but this works too. And then wiring as well. You can run wires in through more spots because the wires won't clip through the walls, I don't think. Can't afford. What am I missing? I'm missing plates. I'm sure I need concrete too. 43 concrete. So you can see, like, it takes some materials to build something this big, but we've definitely got plenty of concrete, and my plates are definitely over producing. Oh, I didn't think I was gonna make it. definitely need. Oh, I could just walk outside. See, I just talked about how convenient it is to be able to go outside and enter the factory at any spot, and I didn't do it. I'm so used to running around it. So here's the plates. Get rid of this 2 here. Yeah, we'll do 6. Let's actually go this way, and we will run down here and make our power shard, our slug into a shard. Not sure what I'm standing on there. Well, I still have an inventory space. And it was a yellow one. Oh. Yes, it was a yellow because it gave me 2. Nice. So we got 10 of those left. I think I just changed a couple things around too, so I'm not overclocking everything. There's a couple things that I switched around. I think some of my constructors and stuff for my rods, I think once I upgraded everything, I was able to... able to stop doing that one. Or pull some of the, like I said, pull some of the power shards out. Does that one have stuff in it? Oh yeah, that one's full. Okay. Like I said, ramps, not stairs. Stop using the stairs until they fix them. And I'll put handrails in here too so that I don't accidentally run off the side. I can run off the side, it doesn't hurt me too bad, but well, it's up there, thank you. But like I said, it'd be nice to know. Sometimes when I'm building, I'm walking backwards and I fall off there. And if I land on the ramp, it hurts, but if I land anywhere on the flat on that second floor, it doesn't hurt me at all. So it's nice having these Blade Runner things on there. But you can see, like I said, I'm standing in one spot and building this entire thing. I do need to figure out how, and maybe if you want to comment below, I keep seeing people building that have painted, and the stuff builds the color that they're painting. So I don't know, I haven't played with the paint gun enough to do that yet. But if you know how, either comment below, or I'll try to, I keep forgetting to do a post in Twitter about when my videos come out, but I'll try to remember to throw a video or a post in there when it releases. You can also put a message in there, so like I said, that way I can get all this stuff just to populate the right color. I don't know if it works for walls or if it's just equipment, but these are a little more tricky, or at least they're being a little more tricky. But like I said, no reason not to, in this game, no reason not to build a massive factory. You're gonna need the space anyway, so you might as well go big. I found that building it up in the air is extremely advantageous versus building it on the ground with all the rocks and trees and everything. Way less to clear. You've still got the area below where you can run conveyors and stuff like that. I run almost all my just feed conveyors either underneath or along the side. You've seen that with my copper conveyors. I do have 2 more copper conveyors that I need to bring over, and then I'm gonna start making wire. I'm out of wire. Kind of finally ran out of my first initial setup amount, so need to get that going and running over to make rotors. And then I really want to get, like I said, I want to get the steel going and get all that stuff creating stuff before I go grab all the oil. So so while I'm out doing the oil, plus I think I need some of that stuff, the motors and things, to do the to build some of the pumps, oil pumps and refineries and stuff. So, but there you have it. So that's a massive floor, massive factory floor. That'll be enough. I mean, this one factory floor, I've got a downstairs too, so this is just the upstairs. And however long this video is, I don't even know. I forgot to set a timer, so didn't seem like it was very long. Watch, I'm gonna watch it, and it's gonna be like an hour, but I know it's not that long. But like I said, you can make it extremely fast if you have the materials making, you know, cranking out. We have that massive concrete plant over there that we built, and to be honest with you, this thing is keeping up with all of my demand of concrete. So just, what is it, like 6 storage units? I think I have 3 belts, and I don't even know if they're running. I think right here I'm running 60 per minute. It almost doesn't even look like I'm running 60 per minute, maybe 45 per minute. And it's keeping up. I haven't had to feed it with my other concrete. So concrete you can probably get away with having a pretty minimal supply of. But like I said, once you're building, you saw how quickly we went through it. We went through it twice, and that's all that's left. So you do go through it fast when you start building these buildings. And then it does go in your encased industrial beams as well. Oh, I thought I fell off the edge. No jetpack yet. I need to get that. But it runs on fuel, on the oil fuel. So Caterium is right over there on the waterfall. So I'll run something over to my wiring floor, and we'll run that on the same floor. But like I said, that concrete I will probably never ever use. If I have to, I've got way more than enough. So but you can see, like I said, this is my factory, my base as so far. I think I've got almost all of it built. I just need to finish the walls on this side, and then paint it, and then build some. I'm still probably going to build some framework underneath it, so it's not just floating in the air. It doesn't matter, it doesn't affect anything, but I think it just looks better. So one more floor of walls to do, and then the structure of it at least will be done, and then some handrails. And then like I said, this will be the electronics area. I'll probably do computers and computer chips and all that stuff on the top floor, and then the bottom floor will just be wiring and cables and quick wire. And I will probably overproduce that like crazy because I have some massive belts of that coming in as well. I've got 2 here. I believe they're both 120 per hour, 120 per minute. Yeah. And then I've got 2 more coming from this side, and then I have 2 more nodes down there that I will crank up as well, and get them out to 120. So way more than enough copper coming in, and then like I said, I'll overproduce all that. I've seen some people kind of in the end game go, I thought I had the wire all taken care of, but I'm running short. So we're gonna make way more than we need, hopefully, and then we keep plugging away. So there you have it, real quick video on kind of how to build platforms and some handrail safety tips. Those things are actually really great for building ramps and coming up stuff, because you can just run into them. You don't have to turn or anything, and you don't go flying off the edge. So I never once turned my body on that. Like I said, far better than the stairs. As far as going up floors, it's way faster, way more efficient. So that's it for this one. Appreciate taking the time to watch and hang out with us. Yeah, and that's it. Like I said, we'll see you in the next one. Have a good evening or day or morning or whatever time it is you're watching this. And we will, like I said, I'll keep plugging out content, daily content. Hit that like button, that comment button, yeah, any one of those, any order. Just make sure you subscribe and hit that bell if you want to see more content like this, and we will keep going on it. So have a good evening.